So I like Knight 17. I love that Minami actually gets to henshin and the Knight Invoker as well as the Nox Knight suit is not totally forgotten. However, I have one tiny gripe about the form, and that is its henshin sound and how it creates inconsistencies with the show's lore. Firstly, it mentions the word rider, despite the fact that she isn't considered one. And secondly, because the standby sound uses the Zeztz drivers instead of the Knight Invoker's. This is because in real life, the DX Knight Invoker is simply just a cosmetic change to the Zeztz driver toy, and doesn't change the standby sound by itself. That sound is only provided by a select few capsems, such as Erase, Panic, Shock, and Extra. But had they used the Knight Invoker standby, it could have been a great opportunity for Bandai to sell an updated version of the Zeztz driver with swappable standby sounds, or even a separate Knight Invoker with its own unique sounds for every capsem. This is the one time I wish Bandai was more greedy. And even if they didn't want to do all that, they could have at least chose to use the Agent Henshin sound for the CODE Capsem instead, as it doesn't mention the word rider at all during the henshin, which eliminates the inconsistency. This sound has went completely unused by any capsem so far, and would have made perfect sense to go along the CODE Capsem with how Minami is trying to become a proper CODE agent. They could have voted so that every agent besides Nox who had used the Knight Invoker uses some variation of the CODE Capsem, and thus they all share the same henshin sound. There, now they can sell multiple different capsems that share the same pin set instead of reusing Zeztz Vision's henshin sound. Also, the Agent Dream capsem has its own sounds within it, so they shouldn't need to worry about the Agent Pin combo sound getting used by it in the driver. I'm just a bit ticked off that there was a perfectly logical henshin sound they could have used instead of using one that was already used by one of Zetz's forms, and creates inconsistencies that could have been avoided entirely if they had put in more thought into which sound they wanted to use. Now I know this is just a nitpick and ultimately doesn't matter, but I just felt like venting about it. Till next time, see ya!